What really happens when an older adult starts living alone with no regular visitors, no daily phone calls, and no backup plan? It's not always the loneliness that causes the most harm. It's the little dangers that go unnoticed. A slippery floor, a missed medication, a lightheaded moment with no one nearby. And the truth is, many seniors will face this, sometimes not by choice but simply by circumstance. Friends pass on, families get busy, spouses are gone. But here's the part most people misunderstand. Living alone doesn't mean living at risk. In fact, many of the sharpest, most resilient seniors I've met are those who live alone and thrive, because they've created a home and lifestyle that supports their safety and independence. If you're watching this and you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or maybe you're caring for someone who is, this message is for you. Maybe you feel strong now but want to stay prepared. Or maybe you've started to feel more vulnerable and wonder, what if something happens? Today, I'll walk you through 5 proven strategies that real seniors, geriatric doctors, and longtime caregivers use to stay safe, steady, and secure, even when they live completely on their own. These aren't theories. These are simple, powerful choices that can mean the difference between barely getting by and living well with confidence. So, if you've ever wondered how to stay safe, healthy, and in control when you're living solo, this is your starting point. Let's begin with the first and perhaps most overlooked strategy, creating a daily check-in habit. Now you might be thinking, I live alone because I like my space, and that's completely fair. But this isn't about giving up your independence. It's about quietly building in protection, without anyone hovering over you. Because here's the reality. What happens if one morning you don't feel quite right? Maybe you slept poorly, skipped breakfast, or felt dizzy while reaching for something. Without a check-in system, hours or even days could pass before anyone knows you need help. But the solution? It's simple. You don't need someone knocking on your door daily. Sometimes all it takes is a quick phone call, a short, "I'm up" text, or even something visual, like opening the blinds by a certain time to signal that you're active. Let me tell you about Darlene. She's 79, lives on her own, and loves it that way. But every morning by 8:30 a.m. she calls her neighbor across the street just to say good morning. If either one doesn't check in, the other follows up within the hour. It's casual, it's kind, and it gives both women peace of mind. Many communities even have buddy systems now. Neighbors watch for certain signs, like a porch light turned on or a curtain opened by a certain time. Some seniors use apps that send alerts if you don't log in at your usual hour. Others connect with volunteers who call just once a day to say hello. It's not about overcomplicating your routine. It's about setting up a quiet system that says, "I'm okay." And the best part, it works at every age. Whether you're 65 and active or 88 and slowing down, this habit sends a powerful message, not that you're fragile but that you're smart. Because here's the truth, being strong isn't about never needing help. It's about having a plan when you do. Number 2, make your home fall resistant, not just familiar. Here's a surprising fact. Most serious injuries for older adults don't happen on icy sidewalks or steep stairs outside. They happen right at home, in the rooms we know best. And it's rarely because someone is too frail. It's because their home hasn't been updated to match how their body has changed. Your home may be full of cherished memories, but it might also be full of silent hazards. A rug that slides a little too easily. A lamp cord stretched across your favorite chair. A cabinet you've always reached, until suddenly you can't without standing on your tiptoes, or a stool. These small things don't seem dangerous, until they are. Let me tell you about Robert, 80 years old, fiercely independent and proud of maintaining his home himself. One morning, he stepped out of the shower, as he'd done thousands of times before, but he forgot to grab the towel he usually keeps nearby. He turned, slipped on the wet tile, and landed hard. The result? A broken wrist, a cracked rib, and a long stretch of lost independence, all because of one minor oversight. Fall-proofing your home isn't about preparing for weakness. It's about planning for strength, the kind of strength that keeps you upright, mobile, and safe. Start by doing a slow walk through your space. Imagine guiding a guest who walks with a cane or struggles with balance. What would they catch their foot on? What would they need to move aside? Now fix those things for your future self. Use brighter, well-placed lighting. Adjust your bed height. Move dishes and everyday items down from overhead cabinets. Clear pathways between furniture. And please ditch the socks with slick soles. Instead, invest in comfortable indoor shoes with grip and support. Your feet will thank you, and so will your spine and hips. Don't forget the bathroom. It's one of the most dangerous rooms in the house. Add a non-slip mat inside the tub and just outside it. Install a grab bar, not just for now but for later. And if standing feels risky, add a shower bench. It doesn't take away your freedom, it protects it. And remember this, fall prevention is not something you do after a fall. It's a choice you make now to avoid one altogether. If this tip resonated with you, please comment number 2 below, so I know you're still with me and still invested in your safety. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Tap the bell so you don't miss the next steps in creating a safer, stronger life. Now let's move on to number 3. Check in with your most important caregiver, yourself. When you live alone, one of the greatest tools you have isn't a gadget or a service, it's your own self-awareness. But here's the part that surprises most people. You don't always notice when things start slipping. Not until something small turns into something serious. It's not just about visiting your doctor once a year or having your blood pressure checked. It's about tuning into the quiet signals your body sends you every single day and learning to recognize what feels off. For example, are you forgetting names more than usual? Do you feel more tired even after a full night's sleep? Have you been skipping meals without realizing it? These little signs are like the body's whisper. And if we ignore the whispers, they can quickly become warnings. Let me tell you about Joyce. She's 83, lives on her own, and had always been independent. But slowly, she began missing steps in her routine. First, she left the oven on. Then she forgot to take her morning pills. The real concern came when she started skipping meals, something she never used to do. By the time her daughter visited weeks later, Joyce had lost 12 pounds and was showing early signs of memory trouble. The change had been so gradual, Joyce hadn't even noticed. That's why a weekly self-check can make all the difference. Try this simple routine every Sunday morning with your coffee or tea. Ask yourself, did I sleep well this week? Did I eat regularly and feel nourished? Did I have the energy to do everyday things? Did I feel any unusual aches, dizziness, or discomfort? Did I feel emotionally off, anxious, down, or detached? If any answer gives you pause, don't ignore it. Call your doctor, talk to someone you trust, and most importantly, keep a small journal. Just a few lines a week can help you spot changes over time before they become emergencies. Living alone doesn't mean living unaware. It means becoming the expert of your own well-being. When you listen to your body, you give yourself something more valuable than protection. You give yourself power. Number 4. Make your home work for you, not against you. When people talk about safety risks for seniors living alone, they often picture the big things: fires, break-ins, or medical emergencies. But the truth is, the biggest threats are usually the tiniest ones. A lamp cord across the floor, a drawer that sticks and makes you tug, that one tile near the sink that's always just a little too slick. These things don't seem dangerous until the moment they are. And here's the catch. Over time, we stop noticing them. That hallway bulb that flickers, you get used to it. That small ledge at the entryway, you adjust your step. But your reflexes and joints don't always adjust as quickly as they used to. Take Frank, for example, 78, healthy and independent. He loved his morning routine: toast, coffee, crossword puzzle. But one morning, while reaching for a bowl on the top shelf, he lost his balance standing on a kitchen stool. One fall, one broken shoulder, and 6 months of needing help with almost everything. And the worst part, he later told me he'd nearly fallen in the same spot 3 times before, but just brushed it off. So what can you do right now to stay safe in your own space? First, simplify. Look around your home with fresh eyes, like someone visiting for the first time. Are there cords or clutter in walkways? Furniture that makes movement feel tight? Rugs that don't stay put? Clear them out. Your home doesn't have to be bare, just easy to navigate, even when you're not feeling 100%. Second, lower what you use most. If you reach above your head or stand on tiptoe to get something every day, that's a sign it needs to move. Bring everyday items, plates, medication, towels down to a level between your hips and shoulders. And choose lightweight, easy-grip tools and containers that don't require strain. Third, upgrade your lighting. As we age, our eyes adjust slower to changes in light. Add motion sensor nightlights in key areas like the bathroom, hallway, and kitchen. And make sure every staircase, even the short ones, has lighting at both the top and bottom. Fourth, spread your safety tools. Don't keep your phone in just one room. Have reachable options in the living room, bedroom, and kitchen. If you wear a smartwatch or use a fall alert device, great. Make sure it's charged, worn, and within reach. These aren't signs of weakness, they're signs of wisdom. Finally, focus on the bathroom. Add grab bars near the toilet and shower. Use non-slip mats inside and outside the tub. A shower bench might not look glamorous, but it can save you from a fall, a fracture, or a hospital visit. None of these upgrades scream fragile. They whisper prepared. They help you stay in control, confident, and independent. If you found this tip helpful, leave a comment below and write number 4 so I know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another strategy for staying strong, safe, and self-reliant, right where you belong, in your own home. Now let's move on to number 5, building emotional strength through real connection. Just because someone lives alone doesn't mean they feel lonely. But let's be honest, being physically alone for long periods can quietly chip away at our emotional health. It doesn't happen all at once. Sometimes it starts as a few quiet days, then a quiet week, and suddenly you realize no one's called, no one's checked in, and you haven't spoken aloud in days. And it's not just about people being physically absent. It's about feeling invisible, not being asked for advice, not being missed, not being needed. One of the hardest parts of aging alone is losing that sense of purpose. You go from a life filled with responsibility, work, caregiving, raising children, community involvement, to long, quiet days where time stretches out and there's no clear place you're expected to be. Let me share a story with you. Elaine, 80 years old, lives by herself in the home she's had for decades. She's sharp, funny, and independent. But after her husband passed and her friends moved or passed on, she started feeling detached from the world. She told me once, "I feel like I could go days without anyone knowing I'm still here." And that sentence stayed with me, because for so many seniors it's not just a feeling, it's a reality. The good news: emotional connection can be rebuilt, even in small, simple ways. Start with consistent communication. A weekly phone call with a grandchild, a daily wave to the neighbor across the street, a short email to a friend or former coworker. It doesn't have to be long, it just has to be regular. Explore purposeful activities that give back. You don't need to leave the house to make a difference. You can read books to children over video chat, knit blankets for shelters. Join an online community that shares your hobbies. Purpose isn't about busyness, it's about feeling useful. And feeling useful is one of the best forms of medicine there is. Another simple solution: pets. A gentle cat, a small dog, or even a few fish in a tank can bring a sense of routine, comfort, and even motivation to get out of bed in the morning. Studies have shown they lower stress, reduce blood pressure, and ease anxiety without saying a word. Also, don't underestimate your local resources. Senior centers, community groups, or even meal delivery services offer more than practical support. They bring human connection right to your door. You don't have to show up full of energy and smiles. Just showing up is enough. That's how doors open and connections begin. Because loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's a health risk. But connection doesn't always require more people. Sometimes it just takes a little more consistency and a few small steps to feel seen again. And you deserve that. Let me know when you're ready for the next part. Because staying emotionally strong is just one piece of the bigger picture, and we're not done yet. Number 6, build an emergency-ready mindset and system. Living alone in your 70s, 80s, or beyond isn't just about staying comfortable day to day. It's about being prepared when the unexpected shows up at your door. Whether it's a sudden dizzy spell in the kitchen, chest tightness during a quiet afternoon nap, or a power outage on a cold winter night, what turns a minor scare into a crisis is usually just one thing: lack of preparation. But here's the truth. Preparation doesn't mean paranoia. It means confidence. It means having quiet systems in place that protect you before you ever need them. Let's begin with what I call fall-proofing plus. Because yes, non-slip bathroom mats and grab bars are essential. But you also need to think about how your entire living space supports your ability to move safely. That means making sure furniture is arranged with wide, clear paths. No sharp corners. No low tables to trip over. Motion-activated nightlights in the hallway, a grab bar by the bed. Little details that could make a big difference at 2 a.m. Next, let's talk about medical alert systems. Now, I know some people roll their eyes at this. Maybe you're thinking, I'm still healthy, I don't need that yet. But here's the reality. The best time to set up help is before you need it. Today's devices aren't bulky or embarrassing. Many look like smartwatches or pendants. Some even detect a fall automatically, so if you hit the floor and can't move, they call for help without you needing to do a thing. Having one doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to expect the unexpected. Another key safety move: have a printed emergency sheet in your home, on the fridge, the front door, or near the phone. It should list your medications, allergies, your doctor's name, and at least 2 emergency contacts. Why? Because paramedics look for this first, and if you're ever unable to speak, that sheet speaks for you. Also stock a small emergency supply kit. Not for a doomsday scenario, but for a flu day, a snowstorm, or when you just don't feel well enough to go out. A few non-perishable meals, bottled water, a flashlight, backup batteries, and a charged portable phone power bank can be lifesavers. And finally, one of the most powerful tools of all: a trusted neighbor. You don't need to be best friends. You just need a plan. Maybe it's a weekly check-in. Maybe it's a simple agreement. If you don't see my blinds open by 9 a.m., give me a knock. That kind of connection turns your block into a safety net. The most important part of all of this is mindset. It's that quiet inner voice that says, I've thought ahead. I've set myself up smartly, and I'm not afraid because I'm ready. Living alone doesn't have to mean living at risk. It can mean living independently with clarity, confidence, and control. If this section resonated with you, leave a comment below that says, number 6, so I know you're still watching and still thinking ahead. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Click that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a strategy that can help keep you safe, strong, and self-reliant. Let's move forward, because you're not done yet. You're just getting wiser. So what really happens when an older adult has no one to care for them? It depends, not on age, not on circumstance, but on the choices we make quietly every day. Living alone doesn't have to mean being vulnerable. In fact, it can be a profound opportunity, an invitation to take full ownership of your space, your rhythm, and your well-being. Because when you choose to build smart routines, keep your body active, create a safer home, and stay socially connected, you're not just surviving, you're designing a life filled with confidence and dignity. Yes, there are risks. But life has always had risks. And you've faced them before, with wisdom, with strength, with courage. Those same qualities still live in you now, probably more than ever. You've overcome losses, learned new ways to adapt, and carried on when it would have been easier to stop. And every single choice you make from here, every check-in, every stretch, every intentional moment of connection, is proof that you're still shaping your story. So thank you for being here with me today. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing that stood out to you and how you plan to apply it in your life. We read every message, and they truly mean the world. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might benefit from it too. Because growing older doesn't mean fading away. It means stepping forward, stronger, smarter, and more in tune with who you've always been. We'll see you in the next video.